Hello guys, it is Jead and big shout out to JFC for this video here because it has showed us some things you probably won't believe when it comes to leakers in FC26 and FC in general. But we've also got the end of a Team of the Season Weekend League. We got a market crash to come with it this weekend and we might start getting La Liga Team of the Season leaks and possibly some investments for it as well. So let's jump into it. And guys, if you want to use players like this and just need that little extra boost, then you can get your cheap, fast, and most importantly, safe FC26 coins at eldorado.gg. They have 24/7 support, a money-back guarantee, and you can use code JEAD at checkout to get another 5% off your order. Link is in the description. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Let me know down below. I spent most of mine working on content for you guys, but also watching Liverpool play Chelsea. And honestly, I'm falling out of love with Liverpool, boys. Slot in or slot out, surely it's not even a question anymore. Liverpool is shocking. Did you watch the El Clasico yesterday? We're going to talk about that as well because it matters not only for the El Clasico and the league, but it also matters for some of the cards in the game. And we've got to start here with JFC's video. So first things first is, if you really want to go and see this, watch JFC's video, right? He talks about in detail how this all works, how he found out the information, what it all means. But here it is, okay. Essentially, to cover it short, long story short, he's been in contact with a leaker or multiple leakers to get information on how this actually works when it comes to leaks in FC26 and in FC in general. We're going to go bullet by bullet. I think there's information in here that you're not even going to have thought about before. And some of it I think we already knew, okay? Starting with employees involved in leaks, not just taken from the code. I think we already knew that, right? This is coming straight from EA employees. They know that it's coming from EA employees. I think we all know that. It's not coming from just in code. Some things do come from code, by the way, like the pack code. If you guys follow Foot Scoreboard on Twitter, it's even in the Discord. I think in the leaks channel, we've got Foot Scoreboard as one of the ones it links to. That's from the code, the Foot pack code, right? This is not. Leaks are not. Foot Sheriff is not coming from pack code. It's people inside EA telling leakers what is happening with content ahead of time so they can make money from that. So we already knew that. Leakers can heavily influence content and have some have huge connections. This one here, if true, because again, JFC talked about this in the video. I urge you to go watch the video after this. All of this is alleged. All of this is, in theory, could be made up, right? But this is basically from verified sources, and it has things that are cooperated with each other. So it's pretty much, again, at least most of it, guaranteed to be true. Some of it could be exaggerated to try and sell things, or like anything, right? But leakers can heavily influence content, and some have huge connections. Now, I think leakers reporting on content, having huge ins, I think everyone knows that. Leakers influencing content, I'm going to touch on it with one of the later bullet points. Leakers influencing content is hugely different. That is hugely different. That means that leakers essentially could say, I don't think the community will like that, let's implement this. Or they often maybe just literally means that they influence content in terms of what they want to see on the game. That would be crazy. But if you think about it, if a leaker is essentially in really close connection with someone that works high up in EA, and that's where the leaks are coming from, it's not weird to think that just some dude who runs a leaker account is friends with some dude at EA. He can just tell the guy at EA to put something in the game and then they push it. Does that not make sense? I feel like that could easily be in the game, but I've never really thought about them influencing content. And I think it's getting to the point where this leaker cartel almost feels like it's running the game more than some of the people at EA. It's a really, really weird situation to be. Third bullet point, you'll see Foot Economist doesn't have that much power, can be overridden by higher ups. I don't think that's that big of a deal. If anyone thought that Foot Economist on Twitter, who's basically been like the punching bag for a lot of people, I think wrongfully so, he's the guy that's the public face, to think that he's got a lot of power and is deciding that exchanges shouldn't be in the game, I don't think that's right. I don't think one employee does that. They're testing FC27 in a few days. You might have seen that on Twitter. A lot of the leakers are talking about how they're getting access to FC27. They can't talk about it, but they want feedback from you guys of what they want to see in the game. Again, it seems really strange that the leakers are kind of the ones pushing this, but I guess in theory, if they're in contact with employees at EA, maybe it does make sense. It just all feels really spooky, man. Imagine talking about like the game like this back in FIFA 21, FIFA 22, FIFA 23 days, talking about some cartel behind the scenes that essentially it's all money-based. Everything of it is money because, of course, the person at EA will get paid for giving them leaks because they make a lot of money from the Discords, even the Twitter interactions. They make a lot of money, by the way. It kind of makes sense, right? It's all about money. So they're testing FC27. Now, the big one, I think one that a lot of you guys talk to me about on the streams, EA don't care that much about leaks. We're going to talk about this with the ultimate screen one below this. But I think it's obvious that EA don't care about leaks because I've said this for a while. Leaks kill the game long term, but I think short term, promo by promo, leaks actually bring more engagement to the game. I really think they do. You know, team of the season, like let's say this week, Kvaratskhelia is coming as an SBC. even though we want leaks to go, so we have that surprise element back in the game, I think if you didn't know that Kvaratskhelia was coming as an SBC, there are people in the world that would not have logged on Friday, if that makes sense. You might not think like that, but I guarantee there's been times that something has been leaked to come, like a big evolution. Remember we got the big 500,000 coin 3-play Star Plus evolution? I guarantee there is a non-minute population that jumped on the game just for that Evo, and they only knew about it because of leaks on Twitter. So EA don't care. The really big one here, now this one is huge. The reason employees address Scream. If you went around at the start of the game, on Twitter, EA employees tweeted the leakers when they got the Scream leaks wrong. So the Scream leaks were where the leakers said... Oh my God. Excuse me. The leakers said that Screams weren't having 99 stats. They then came out and did have 99 stats when they got upgraded. And EA employees like tweeted them and said, haha, you know, you got it wrong. Now, that could, one, be EA actually like pulling the rug on the leakers, what everyone thought it was at the time, saying, yeah, EA actually doing something good. What apparently happened was the only reason they addressed the Scream leaks and not any other leaks throughout the entire game that have been wrong was because the Scream leaks were a scenario where the leaks were actually worse than the content that was coming out itself. So you guys know, when we go on Twitter, and we can probably find something here, right? When we go on Twitter, if we, we'll open, let's go on a new tab, right? If we try and find any leak, when the leakers leak stats, they always leak it like over the top. Evo's stats, they always leak stuff like way like this, right? 89 rated team of the season evolutions coming. This was the yesterday, right? Left back position, intercept plus, ping plus, technical plus, all this good stuff, right? And they will show cards that have unrealistic stats, what actually comes on the game 95% of the time. That kind of leak, EA don't care about because in theory, it drives more hype to the game. If they show an SBC that's got 2 good stats or like you're crazy, EA don't care, right? However, with the Scream leaks, the leaker said it was crap. People wouldn't have logged on, so EA addressed it, and that is what is sneaky. They addressed it because they went, oh crap, the leaker's not actually bringing hype anymore. They're taking away from the hype, so we've got to address it before the promo comes out. That, in my opinion, is crazy. It makes a lot of sense, but it shows that EA don't care about leaks unless it's taken away from the hype of the game. Former and current employees in Discord groups, I mean, that's nothing to me. Of course, they're going to have group chats to probably discuss leaks and everything, right? They don't know who to take feedback from. I think this guy goes outside of leaks, right? Forget leaks for a second. Forget all the leak talk. They don't know who to take feedback from. This is the biggest issue the FC26 FC community has when it comes to working with EA, because everyone knows there's so many things wrong with this game. But I've got an opinion, which obviously I'm not like big in the space, so for me it doesn't really matter. But Nepenta's got an opinion, Nick Run the Foot Market's got an opinion, people on Twitter have got an opinion. They'll see the casual player base. They don't know who to take the feedback from because everyone just argues with each other and nothing gets done. Nepentez wants more SBCs of this, while Nick wants them to do more of gameplay this. Foot Accountant would rather than go towards the market of this. All the people they regard as high, up individuals they would take feedback from, all don't agree, say different things, and more important than that, often contradict themselves week on week. So fair play. I mean, I'm not saying EA are the good guys and all this, but like fair play on that one, because who do we just take feedback from? Genuinely, it's a weird point, which is why I think they just look at the player base, right, and how much money is being spent on the game. This leaker that JFC was talking to, because he apparently was talking to a really high up leaker. Now he said it himself. He wasn't lying. He was like, look, he doesn't know, exactly how much influence this guy has. But clearly some of it is true because of what he showed him and cooperated with, which he couldn't show on the video. So, like, you know what I mean? He hedged his bets a little bit. But this guy asked for exchanges, an unlimited team of the year grind, was told no. However, this page says that icon swaps were approved, is what it says behind his webcam. So icon swaps got approved. That one to me almost feels like if anything was like not fake, but it could easily be a situation where the leaker has contact with the EA. He said, can we put in exchanges? He got told no, maybe moved on. And it's as simple as that. Maybe that's not as cynical as it feels, but it links back in with leakers can heavily influence content. If they've got a direct pipeline to employees at EA who get influence over content, you can kind of see how they will influence it like that way anyway. I think overall, all it showed me is that, yes, we knew there was a cartel of leaks anyway, and we knew how early they got them on Twitter and all that stuff. It just shows that it goes way deeper than even we think, right? You've even got these bullet points here. This is sort of the last ones now. So you've got what you see on Twitter is very, very late. I think we all knew that. I don't think we need to go into that. What you see on Twitter is miles after the Discords where they pay for leaks and stuff because then they can make a lot of money on the market, hence when the market moves the way it does. They laugh when they see rant videos. Again, a bit of a nothing point. I don't think that really means much. They laugh when they see people ranting because they're still making the same amount of money. If you guys seen the video the other day talking about how EA is still making, if not more money from the game last year, that kind of makes sense. When they see rant videos, they don't really care. The player count is far less relevant than revenue. I think from an EA standpoint, we forget they look at it as a business, not a game. So as a game, player count's more relevant. As a business, revenue is more relevant. EA are looking at it from a business point of view, and that means they just don't. And long term, by the way, I think it's an awful idea for them. Long term, I think the lower player count, people will eventually stop spending money. The milk, the money, what's it called? The milk train, the money train dries out, and they'll stop getting money. But EA don't really care if they've got 5,000 players, 10,000 players, 100,000 players, a million players. If that money number goes up because the money per player, it's kind of what we spoke about the other day, right? More people are spending money on packs, Evo, Season Pass. EA might have half the player base, but they're making double the money. For them, that's fine. They don't really care. AI defending is a safety net. Now, this is arguably one of the biggest points that'll matter to you guys watching this video, I think. EA have said AI defending is a safety net. When JFC was speaking to the leaker, what he means is that AI defending brings more casuals to the game. And you guys who play FIFA know that the people who spend the most money on this game are sort of the casual play every now and then after work. They jump on, go to the store. Might be you guys watching. More casual. Basically, let's say you get less than 7 or 8 wins in champs, right? So you're a lot more casual. Let's say you're getting 6 wins below in champs. They're the kind of people that spend money on the game. There's data on that. And we'll open a 10 coin over here because I'm an addict. Basically, if they take AI defending out, what they've got data on this, EA, and apparently it was to do, again, watch JFC's video to do the FIFA 18 patch, that the casuals leave the game because the skill gap gets too hard. So if AI defending goes and it's all manual, they concede too many goals, so they're not as good as the game. They struggle, they leave, and EA apparently have seen the revenue go down strictly because of that, if the game gets too hard to play. So that kind of answers a lot of our questions. If what we've been calling for, a better skill gap game, less AI defending, and EA kind of just like ignore it and almost act like no one's talking, it literally makes them money to leave it in. And I guess it makes sense, but is that good for the game long term? Is that good for the hardcore player base that will eventually leave if they just keep seeing the same defending year on year? I don't know. I think the answer is obviously no, it's not, right? And they were saying the FIFA 18 is an emergency patch because the money spenders quit. What we just spoke about. Money spenders quit. FIFA 18, again, watch JFC's video, but it was a very it was basically good gameplay. They patched it to be more AI defended to get people back on the game. Simple as that, right? Scream was supposed to have no 99 stats, changed due to feedback. Kind of links back to the point before. Did EA get... I almost don't look into this point too much. Did EA get one over on the leakers by saying, oh no, Scream has 99? Did they rug pull them with the leaks? Or did the did the leakers basically put stuff out on Twitter, everyone complained, so EA then said, actually, we'll add 99 stats. You could go either way with that. I think we'll never know. We'll never know. There's no point speculating. Again, another big one for you guys that play the game actively. SBCs and menu grind is likely over soon. In my opinion, I think it's not over, but it's changed drastically. EA have gone for a more, with the menu grind, how do I explain it? They've gone for a more continuous but less punch approach. What that means is there's no league SBCs and there's no exchanges, but we have this sort of continuous slop grind, which right now, as we're recording this, as we're looking at the content, is actually really, really good because we've got the 82 plus player picks. But generally, it's been the same thing since, I think, Winter Wildcard, so you're talking 5 months. 5 months of provisions, 14 times 83s, 85 to 87s in there. And we've never had a grind as continuous, but I think a continuous flatline like graph is way worse than having unlimited team of the year grind, have a week rest, unlimited exchanges, have a week rest. That's more engaging. It keeps you active, I think, in my opinion. And instead, I don't know why, I don't know the reason behind it, but apparently they've opted for like this sort of continuous slop grind. And the menu grind, again, this is all according to the leaker that has inside information, will be over soon. Don't look forward to it. Don't get ready for something to change. Don't look for exchanges. We'll have the footies grind, by the way. The footies grind will always be there. EA are not stupid. The footies grind will always be there. But like next year, probably more importantly, don't look for like the menu grind to come back. I think probably from a business standpoint, just makes them less money, so they don't care. Expect FC27 to not be much different, despite GTA. Essentially, don't expect it to be the game that saves the franchise. Expect it to be like, FC26 2, essentially, which FCs normally are. I'm sure EA will have good marketing for it. Open world, he doesn't know about, essentially. So what can you do? We don't know. Everyone's talking about open world because of GTA 6 coming out, and EA need an answer to that. I think people will genuinely leave like for GTA 6, like they did for Fortnite. If you guys remember Fortnite, people left FIFA for that, obvious reasons. Everyone has their own sources. This is like the individual leakers. Let's say sheriff, police, whoever you want to say, right? Has their own sources. They don't bid like, the most money for the best leak. There's different employees. EA's a massive company. There's a lot of employees. Naturally, when one leaker started and they see it was profitable, if anyone had friends at EA, they probably thought, oh, we can make some money off this, right? That's probably what happened. It's natural. I will answer questions once feedback for FC27. So first of all, big shout out to JFC for actually, he did a lot of journalism for this, spoke to someone, he reached out to a lot of leakers. The first thing you can do is go to his channel, subscribe, watch this video. video where he talks in depth about how he actually got there and what it means more in detail. I'd really go and urge to watch that. Look in the comments, maybe leave a comment in his video as well, because apparently they will answer questions. So if you've got questions for FC27, go and ask there. Genuinely, it seems like this weird conspiracy, but if you think about it, it's just people. People work at a company, people know them people, and those people leak on Twitter. That's all it is. People leave clues, and that's what's happening here. Boys and girls, leave your thoughts below on the leaks and the leaks in general. What do you think about all that information? Is there any one point there you thought, I actually didn't know that, and you think that's changed the way I look at it? Has it made you more optimistic, more pessimistic for next year and the rest of this year's game? Let me know. The bit I'm happy about is that I think this week's content's been okay because of the pack weight. Let me know what you guys think. I think a simple tweak in the pack weight this week, when we look at SBCs, has changed how this week's team of the season has felt for me. And by the way, I didn't mention it earlier, we got our best red pull ever. And I mean ever in yesterday's Twitch stream. Like ever on FIFA, even before I started doing Twitch streams and whatever. Best red pull ever, and all of that is because of the pack weight, and I think that has changed a lot for this week's team of the season, and the content has been okay to go along with it. We've got, over the past few days, because obviously we missed a video yesterday, we got the 1 of 489 on Icon player pick, not worth it at all. It's above 150,000 coins. However, I quite like it as a gamble. I do think if you're going to do any gamble SBC, a 1 of 489 plus with those icons in it is fine because of the Evo we got today as well. And I will talk about that in a second. We got Blaze Matuidi. This one I think is crap. Like, they obviously did this card as he's really rare for Evos, but I just don't think anyone was asking for a Scream Matuidi. His playstyles are actually really, really good with Intercept, Anticipate, Ping, Quick Step. Jockey Plus is a bit meh. But even though it's a decent card, I just feel like no one was asking for a Blaze Matuidi, so that is what it is. And we got the challenges again. That's more for the objective, and you get tradable packs. Make sure you go in and completing them just so you get the objective done. It's simple as that. They're kind of boring, but tradable packs are tradable packs. But the big ones, of course, big new content, was Osimhen and Yilmaz. Osimhen had a huge effect on the market and actually crashed a lot of strikers. I was trading on the day Osimhen came out, so actually not yesterday, day before. There was a massive impact on strikers. Endrick dropped in price loads because of Osimhen and the pack weight, but loads of strikers across the board dropped, and I thought that was a little bit weird. He does have rapid, quick step, and low driven and finesse, but I think it's just because Osimhen, he's a popular player. He's lengthy striker. I guess that goes into it, but strikers being lengthy is nowhere near as important as wingers being lengthy on this game. He's 4-star, 4-star. Maybe just the price of him because he's not that expensive. He is, just double check, but I think, yeah, he's way less than 300. He's 240,000 coins now with current fodder prices. And because of that, decent SBC, no incisive, no ticky, so I would actually say don't go and complete it unless you're a Turkish League fan. But it really did crash strikers. Yilmaz, loads of people were asking me yesterday in the stream about Yilmaz. I think this is a must avoid. I think this card is an absolute money trap because he's 300,000 coins, more than Osimhen. What the casual sees, 98 pace, 97 physical with rapid plus. Probably think it's great. The only way this card's good is running down the line and crossing it in, if that makes sense, right? That's all he's good for. Shooting, passing is average. He'll move a little bit average in game. He won't move silky because obviously the way, his card is, he's 6'1". He won't move silky. The only way these cards are good, jokes aside, is lengthy. Like, this is a lengthy card that can't be lengthy. He will not play as good as other cards that are way worse stat-wise, but have that little word there, controlled, changed to lengthy, which needs to be fixed for FC27. Because once again, it's 2 SBCs where I'm not doing them because one doesn't have incisive, one doesn't have lengthy. So we move on to the Evo. But the Evo is actually really, really good. The Evo is really, really, really good. I'm going to bring up an Nepenthes tweet of him calling it bad and explain why Nepenthes, as much as I love the man, is wrong. Because the Evo is really, really good. We have got, not fullback takeover, Maestro Unbound. We got Maestro Unbound. We'll talk about the Keeper Evo as well, because that crashed keepers ridiculously. This is such a good evolution. This, for 35,000 coins, a card that you grind your arse off for with its R9, a card that I think I've got over 300 games on, 400 games on R9, who I've not been able to use in the past few weeks. I now can give him incisive and pinged, and all of a sudden, not the best striker in the game, I can use this card again. For 35,000 coins, a card that naturally falls behind the power curve, and we accept that every single year, I can Evo him, and he's now usable again, and I can enjoy this card. And there'll be so many cards you guys might have, like a Sophia Wilson, a Stoichkov, other big icons, and it's why I said before about the Icon SBC. So, the Icon 1 of 489, I think having this Evo here makes that SBC better, because let's say you got a Thunderstruck Eto, who I don't think's in anymore, but let's say you got someone like Thunderstruck Eto, I can now give my Thunderstruck Eto incisive, and once again, although it's just one little badge on a card, that makes him so much more usable. Nothing really moved in price because of the Evo, but what did come out is the Nepenthes saying, I really thought yesterday's Evo was awful, 35k for adding a few playstyles, blah, blah, blah. He was surprised when he seen that it was basically 50-50 in the community. And his point is, I think it's important for EA to give you the opportunities to keep cards usable, but charging, he's basically saying you shouldn't charge for it. It should have been a free Evo. That's what he's saying, right? You shouldn't charge 35,000 coins to make my R9 usable. But why not? Let's say it was a different Evo, but it's 35,000 coins just to give some like other playstyle pluses to a card, right? Like you like a normal Evo. You're charging money to make a card up to the current standard of power curve. Why is that any different? I think it's almost better. It's almost better if I can do it on a card that I've got like loyalty to, or not loyalty, but like, you know, a card that I've already used and like enjoyed. I think it's better. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. Are you going to use the Evo or not? You get 2 of them. 70,000 coins is steep. Hopefully you guys on this channel trade, have coins, and that's why we do it. We do it so we can do Evos like this for free and have a great time with it. That's literally why we do it. So for maybe us, it's not a problem. But I think it's great. I get to use R9 again. And, for example, let's say you had this card in the club, and it's a very specific example, but go and check your clubs. If you had Team of the Year Ibrahimovic, oh my God, what a pull. You can't even use him because he has no incisive at the top level, right at the top level. You put him in a 35,000 coin Evo, which I'm sure you'll be happy to do. All of a sudden, that little white badge there makes this guy 20%, 30%, 40%, arguably 50 to 100% better than he was already. And now all of a sudden, that best pack pull you've got all year is usable again at Team of the Season. That is a great Evo, in my opinion. But maybe Nepenthes is right. Maybe I'm deluded. I don't know. I think it's a great Evo, boys. Let me know if you're using it on anyone. Surely has to be R9 if you've still got him. And then the other one we got, of course, the other day before was a massive one for goalkeepers. We got cat-like reflexes, and there is only 2 cards everyone should use this on. 3 if you include Gadella, but I don't have Gadella in the club, so be nice. Is Vicario and Courtois. I'm going to use it on Vicario, I think. You guys know the absolute GOAT of the objective game modes this year. Yes, he has no far throw and cross claimer. I don't care. This guy is different in game. But the other one is Courtois as well. And luckily, I still have both of them. If you guys remember Winter Wildcard Courtois, he was crazy. He now gets a second playstyle plus, including that far reach plus. Got to be Courtois or Vicario. I'm actually debating between the two. I don't know. I use Courtois for so many games this year. I think I've got over a couple hundred games on him as well. I might do Courtois. Who do we all put in the goalkeeper Evo? But that did crash goalkeepers because it's a very specific position. Goalkeeper Evo, it's free. It kind of made sense. When you see an Evo like that, impact Team of the Season goalkeepers like Foot Birthday Check, I think went up if they fit the Evo, but other goalkeepers went down. When it's such a specific Evo like that, if it affects a very specific kind of position, it's free and it boosts cards past the power curve. It's of course going to bring the price of the market down. You can't do anything about that. So if you already had goalkeepers sitting in your club, it's a little bit unlucky. But yeah, we're going to talk about leaks and upgrades in La Liga Team of the Season and what we can buy and all that good stuff. But boys, honestly, I think the content's been okay this week. I think it's really, really been okay. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you don't like some of the cards that have come out because I'm not doing Yilmaz or Osimhen. But you can't do every SBC that comes out. And I think with the 1 of 382 plus player pick and how good that is, and it still continues to be, loads of you guys commenting on the video, getting Pacho, just, I don't know, crazy cards. Go and complete as many of them as possible. And for me, that's enough content for the week as it is. But yeah, let's talk about upgrades. Let's talk about La Liga leaks as well. For upgrades, there are 2 main games. If you've seen the FUT Accountants video already, you'll know that one of them is really frustrating because it is Lewandowski and Cancelo with the Barca Real Madrid game. So Barca have now secured the league. Let me know, any of you guys Barca or Real Madrid fans? If we didn't watch it because we were on stream, we missed it. We missed the Arsenal hate watch as well. We could talk about the Arsenal West Ham penalty. I might put a pinned comment. Was it a disallowed goal or should it have been an allowed goal for the Arsenal West Ham games? Let me know on the pinned comment. But Barcelona get the win against Real Madrid. They win the league, but of course they've not officially. They have officially won the league, but they're not getting the trophy, and it's not the end of the season, which means we should see a delay, sadly, on Cancelo getting a 3rd playstyle plus. Now, Cancelo's the top of FUT been popular because, of course, it's an SBC that so many people did, and that 3rd playstyle plus, if it was a bruiser, an intercept, or a quick step, could be really, really good and make him right up to the standard of Team of the Season right backs, right? Right up to the standard. If you go on the details here and you see, if they win the domestic league or main cup, which I guess you can't really see here, but it's 3 playstyle pluses. That's what they get. We know it on other cards. Same with Lewandowski. I think Lewandowski won't be nearly as hype. Of course, you got a big price increase because traders be trading. But an 88 pace striker, yes, he has 99 shooting. I think the only way this card becomes usable is actually quick step, not rapid, right? He needs to get quick step plus. He has neither of them right now. I think if you choose one, quick step plus turns his card from like a 6 or 7 out of 10 to like an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. So quick step plus, keep an eye on that. Surely EA do it because we're getting towards the end of the game. But again, we probably don't see those upgrades until, I don't know when the actual end of the season is. A few weeks now, basically, when the La Liga, I think it's 3 weeks till the La Liga end of the season, when they'll actually confirm the league, they'll get the upgrades, and by then, we'll have all moved on to playing Fortnite or something else anyway. So it's a bit meh. But the other one was Losk Lille. Losk Lille got the win against Monaco, and we spoke about this card the other day, Olivier Giroud. Now, I was joking about Net before, saying that Evo's bad. At least he's happy about his Olivier Giroud getting a boost. Did anyone do this card? He's getting the upgrade. It's not going to affect strikers on the market, obviously, but if you're someone who likes those tall, precision header kind of strikers, him, Onuachu are back in fashion for some reason. People are trying to run it that they're the best cards in the game. People are going around and getting deluded, basically. But yeah, he's getting the upgrade and actually might be a very, very usable card, genuinely, if you did complete him, which is very, very funny. So, leaks time. Boys, make sure to subscribe. We're still at around 18% of you guys watching these videos are subscribed. We're trying to hit 16k soon, then on to 20k. Honestly, appreciate all you guys on the channel recently. We've tried to start a channel and a content and doing this for you guys in the year that's most difficult, like FC struggled the most, but we powered through. I'm still enjoying it, but mainly because of you guys on the videos and on the streams. So, subscribe if you're not already, like, hype, whatever. But let's talk leaks. We get 3 cards coming today, and these are not exciting. I've said about how good content is today. These ain't the one. We get Italian, French, and Senegal, which you can pretty much, I think I saved the image, we can zoom in. You can pretty much guarantee that Senegal will be Kamara, probably the most hyped, but the stats just look so average that unless, again, he's 10 to 20k, like no one actually cares. That's quite sad. Italian looks to be Cantor. Playstyles are okay, but no one really cares about that card. And French could literally be anyone. My guess is going to be Moroni, but French could basically be anyone. I don't think there's anything crazy coming, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's Desiree Doué. Maybe Doué actually got a card and it's not been leaked yet. I wouldn't bet your house on that. I reckon it'll be Moroni, maybe someone below. I just don't think that'll be that hype. So in terms of SBC content today, doesn't look the best, but Monday's more of an upgrade day and possibly a chain evo day. That's kind of what we're looking at. So upgrades, I don't think it'll be crazy. I think the upgrades we'll get won't really change anything. We'll probably get the same ones rehashed like we have for the past few weeks. When we talked about the grind becoming like repetitive before, it's the same evos, not evos, same upgrades every single week. So that's a bit boring, but expect upgrades today. Expect those SBCs. But yeah, we don't really care. Boys, welcome to the world of leakers. Like we spoke about at the start of the season, start of the video, we have our first La Liga league. You will not believe what player is not in La Liga team of the season. Everyone cast your votes down below. I have an idea. I have an idea on what I think EA are doing. I've said this for the past week, and I think I might be vindicated. I think one of Mbappe, Vinny, and Yamal will not be in. I think Yamal will be in. So probably Mbappe. My guess is Mbappe. I think Mbappe won't be in. I think what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and put Mbappe as an SBC and make him like an Osimhen, like an honorable mention. I think they know the game needs hype. I'm saying it right now. Think about how many player of the month Mbappe SBCs you've had over the years and how many people go and complete them. I think Mbappe won't be in and he'll be an SBC and EA are going to try and get people to come and do that Mbappe and they'll bring a pack grind for it. That's my guess. I have no idea. You might even see this leak in the next hour or two. So keep an eye on Twitter. Keep an eye on the Discord. We'll probably talk about it in there if it comes out. But it could be crazy because we were going to talk about before that leak, investing in a card like Mbappe, who is now 240,000 coins. And if you check him even just a few days ago, he was sat all the way down at 240,000 coins. Why is that? Because 91 evolutions are possibly coming soon. He's out of packs, which is the main one. He's always been the gold card. Does really, really well out of packs. People will always use Mbappe's gold cards, even into footies because of how good he plays. Could you get cooked if you invested in Mbappe? Maybe the leakers are just trolling. Maybe it's one for their Discord, right? I don't know. We don't have the information, but imagine Mbappe did come as an SBC. Because you guys seen how well Dembele did this week. He's all the way up at 100,000 coins. He started off 14 days ago, you see. 50,000 coins. He pretty much doubled in price as people realized he would be going out of packs for the Liga and team of the season. So, naturally, everyone goes investing in Mbappe. There's other cards you can look at, fodder cards. If you just go to SBC, cheapest player by rating, there are so many fodder cards like Irene, who, by the way, I have no idea if he's getting team of the season. You'd have to look into it. But Payot, Irene, Lewandowski, Mappy Leon, if she's getting team of the season, Hansen. So many of these cards, Pedri, Patry, they'll do really, really well out of packs as fodder cards. And I think if they're doing some scaremongering, saying, oh, Mbappe might not be in or Pedri might not be in, go with the ones that are just fodder cards. Get a card that's guaranteed to go out of packs for team of the season. Invest in them. That's what I would choose if you want something safe right now. And yeah, let's talk rest of the market as well because we're on 25 million coins. However, we should be on 26 million coins. We lost 1 million coins of tax on our team on the Sunday stream. Boys, if you want to see a champs challenge, get in the Sunday streams. We often do the most ridiculous things, lose it all. But it means sometimes you're making 1 million coin tax loss to get yourself a red Vitinha. And it was Taylor that sat in the chair and packed us red Vitinha. My best ever red pull. The pack rate on the reds is crazy. Let me know who you guys got down below if you've done champs already. The second one we got fodder. But I get myself a red Vitinha. We use his blue card in Weekend League. To be honest, he was like average, but like he's a 6 million coin card, so we don't care. So yeah, we lost 1 million coins on tax. We got red Vitinha. We should actually be up to 26 million. We bought a team. We're getting to that point in the game where I'm trying to spend my coins and enjoy it. Trading's getting really, really easy, and I think this week it'll be the exact same. There's a few easy investments we can do, or we can do fluctuation trading. I said at the start we had a market crash, and we really, really did. The market crash was because some of these cards are too good and 2 packable. The Mornay, if she was in Prem or Bundesliga, would be 2 or 3 million coins at the pack weight. Same with Endrick. With Endrick's pack weight, you guys have seen this card's been at 500,000 coins for like 3 days because he's pretty much guaranteed in some of the store packs. Kind of like a glitch on his pack weight. Like the pack weight on some of these high-end cards, even Barcola's like less than 200,000 coins, right? Crazy, crazy prices on some of these cards that are really, really good in game. Nuno Mendes, best left back in the game. You could argue 700,000 coins. Ridiculous. Like, it's really, really mental, the price of some of these cards. And what that meant is, as more and more people pack them from weekend league rewards, they sell the other cards in the team. They sell the other cards in the team sometimes to just go and open store packs to try and get an Endrick, to try and get a card that's crazy as a lengthy winger like Luther. So that's basically where the market crash happened. But La Liga, you guys know, La Liga is always the most popular team of the season since we got women in the game. Because not only do you have Mbappe, Vinny, Pedri, Barca, Real Madrid, it's one of the only leagues where you could argue the women's league is right up there with the hype. With not Vitinha, Bonmati, Pateas, you've got Vicky Lopez, you've got Claudia Pina, you've got so many cards. I'm probably missing loads. You've got so many cards that come with hype when it comes to that league. Salma as well. So many. So that team of the season, if we start getting big leaks here and we start getting cards leaked, even though we already know they're coming, even though we already know like the big cards are coming, if you see them on Twitter, people then start to panic and sell their teams. So what I would say is, if you're going to be buying meta team of the seasons like we normally do on Monday, we'd normally look to go and buy Vitinha, Dembele, Kachawi, Demorne. Be very, very careful with some of the cards. I think La Liga leaks could hurt them, whereas last week I was much more like happy investing in the Bundesliga ones. I'm definitely sure you'll see some rises. Kachawi's now down to below 1.05 million coins, and she's a really good one. She's quite rare. One of the ones I actually like trading this team of the season, so she's one of my favorites in terms of the high-end meta. But I'm being very, very careful on the impact cards, just while we've got La Liga leaks literally coming today, tomorrow, and then probably the full team like on Wednesday. Got to be very, very careful. Once again, the low risk stuff is always lower risk, so it's going to be great. 85s, we're at the point where we're getting towards the end of weekend league. You'll be able to get 85s and 86s on bid. Probably at some point today, maybe with content, but even just right now, get them on bid as low as you can, even though they're still quite high right now at 1.9 thousand coins. If you can get these maybe at 1.5, any point today or tomorrow on bid at the end of weekend league, I'm sure they'll do really, really well into Wednesday. People are just loving the pack grind right now because of how packable the Liga and team of the season cards are. That's why 85s are doing really, really well. You can go for other rateds of fodder as well, but I mean, it's the same as every week, boys. If you're gonna be the guy who goes and invests in fodder, invest in 85s. Like, you don't need me to tell you that, right? And similar as always, it's a really good time to pick up these discard team of the seasons. Just buy them and lazy sell them. Buy them below 15,000 coins. List them at 17 to 19,000 coins just while you wait for them to rise, and it'll do really, really well. They'll probably sell best again on Wednesday night when we get all the SBCs, but we've got no supply. That's what I do once again. The low risk stuff we always do call, but it's because the high risk stuff I'm genuinely a little bit skeptical on. Vitinha is down. Some of the big cards are down. And again, it's all to do with the fact we've got La Liga leaks right around the corner with better cards coming than these Liga. And EA normally go ham for that last team of the season because they know they need people to be back, like, playing the game. It's why I think they could do that Mbappe SBC. I really think they could do it. For me, probably more of a week to trade out of pack cards. I've traded impact cards last week, and then this week, probably going to do more out of pack stuff, fluctuations, some of the more, like, what I would call safer stuff, even though it's still a little bit risky with those big leaks coming. But boys and girls, let me know. Did anyone get themselves a red Vitinha? Anyone get themselves a red Dembele? What did you all get in red rewards? And if you want more in terms of trading, honestly, one of my favorite videos ever on the channel we posted yesterday. I'll put it on screen somewhere now. We asked, like, I think 10 of the best traders that I know, creators I know, including the foot accountant, one tip they would use to make millions. So if you're into the, trying to make coins at this point in the game, or even for next year at FC27, I'd give that a watch. But yeah, subscribe if you are new. Appreciate all the support we've had on the channel recently. Let's try and get to 20k, and I'll see you all in a bizzle.